What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling incredible today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy to have yourself as Brancha here. We are in for an amazing journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Jupiter, wherever Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a 1-to-1, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here, Cancer. Now, Cancer, with this spread, I'm going to be going to higher self says stop, just so you're all aware. But the moon is in Sagittarius still. And I know, still so geeked up, Cancer. And with the moon being in Sagittarius, this is just good, optimistic, energetic energy. This is good. This is good energy if you've been feeling inspired or been feeling ambitious, or just wanting to just kind of shake things up a little bit, Cancer, and really just kind of just go for it. Sagittarius is that energy that gives you that bold push to just to try something different, considering that their ruler is Jupiter. Fortune's on your side, Cancer. I mean, look at how it went yesterday. Jupiter's really got our back. So work with this energy as it makes sense for Cancer. Look at this, the Fool. I'm with it. I'm with it. We're talking about adventure, and okay, we're going to talk about that in a second. And then Cancer, with the moon, she's in a last quarter phase. And with this, Cancer, this is a time, this is like the time of release. This is the letting go of, this is one of the letting go periods of this cycle. We're on getting on that last little chunk before we get into this new lunar cycle. So is there any kind of like emotional or physical clutter that we can maybe clean up? Or are there any kind of like loose ends that we might want to just get like tied up? Just kind of like getting all of our ducks in a row, Cancer. With whatever we started out with, maybe making that a routine, and then just thinking about how we're either going to improve on this thing or maybe incorporate something new going into this new lunar cycle. So just something to think about, Cancer. And then lastly, the decks that I'm working with. This one is the Dreamy Moons Tarot deck. And then the other one is the Astrology Oracle deck for short. And I have links for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But check it out, Cancer. When we're just talking about that, adventures, if you're feeling inspired, maybe feeling pioneering. Cancer, this is, I feel like the energy is pushing us towards something new here, And here's the thing, Cancer, with the Fool, I feel like maybe for some of us, maybe this is something where if we're not thinking about starting something new, maybe we've been thrown into something new, maybe because when I think about the Fool energy is, can be represented by Uranus. And Uranus comes in just like kind of like a shock to the system. It really just comes in and really wants to change things up. It's one of Aquarius's rulers. And when I'm thinking about this energy, Cancer, if we've been thrown into something here as of late, let's say maybe, it could be a number of things. Let's say we found out maybe we need to move suddenly, maybe something's happening with our place that we're staying at, or maybe there's something that's going down with the job. Maybe there's like been like a maybe, I don't want to say like a shutdown or a layoff, but maybe something along those lines. Maybe things, I feel like Cancer, possibly with this Fool, maybe there are some new things that are just coming up on the horizon. Maybe this is something where I feel like it's not that you're not ready for these changes, but I just feel like that this is something where it's like things may be happening a little bit faster than anticipated, and we're really kind of having to think on our toes here. And if that's the case, Cancer, where sometimes like shocks to our journey, whatever unexpected things may turn up, even if depending on what it's looking like, Cancer, because we'll get more as we're kind of working through this, but I feel like that this can be an opportunity for you to look at this whatever this change may be happening, if it's something unexpected, as a new adventure, Cancer. Because let's say, for example, if we were like laid off with work, when going through something like that, that can be a very stressful time. We're thinking about, well, crap, what am I going to do as far as like bills? What am I going to do as far as food? We're already planning, getting in like panic mode sometimes before anything of that has gone down. You know what I mean, Cancer? If it's happening, let's say it happened today, where it's like, yes, I get the initial fear of like, what am I going to do about all of the things? It's like, pause for a second. It's just like, okay, this is going down right now. What can I do right now? If anything, I feel like when we have sudden, maybe changes like that, if we do find ourselves in a panic, Cancer, I feel like a good, or something that might help, keep us from getting into that like kind of panic spiral is just thinking about, okay, yes, that's gone. What is my foundation right now? Okay, I still have I still have wherever I'm staying right now. I know that groceries are good for, how X amount of time. Maybe this is a good time. Okay, where is my, if we're thinking about, finances, resources, where are all my resources? This is a good time to just like focus on what you have, Cancer. Because when we focus on what we don't have and we focus on the changes or get too caught up in that, then I find that that's when we make like those knee-jerk reactions, and then we go from it's just like the panic perpetuates. You know what I mean, Cancer? We're not operating from our clearest head, or clearest mindset, if that makes sense. So just something to think about, Cancer, with whether we're starting up something new or something is just kind of like life took an unexpected turn. These both instances are new opportunities. Even if this is something that's not ideal, we can take, and I know how this may sound, Cancer, but we can utilize this Sagittarius energy to see the brighter side of things, because there's always a silver lining to this stuff. It's like, okay, maybe if this has been like, if this was a company we were at for maybe like 10 years, and yeah, granted, maybe now things have been maybe messed up with, like, if we're thinking about 401k and possibly retirement, sure, that's valid. But also, you've been at a place for 10 years, where you grown at all there? What skills have you acquired? Let's see where let's see where that takes you. Maybe this is like, because Cancer, situations that that go down on our journey are not random. They're meant to guide us somewhere. There's a whole purpose to this Fool's journey here. This is the beginning of a new cycle. When we think about the Fool's the beginning card of the major arcana train, and then the World is the end. And so now we're just getting into a new start here, Cancer. So let's see how we can work with this energy, because I'm looking forward to it. And granted, I'm only working off this energy here, but I don't know, Cancer. It can lead to some like exciting times when we really think about it. But let's see how we can work with this energy. And that's going to be a lot of this, Cancer. I feel like Fool energy and just like new beginnings and things. There's going to be a lot of that, Absolutely, Nine of Stars. There's going to be, this is the energy right now where we're trying to find our foundation again, where maybe some of us, because the Nine of Stars can be a card of like self-sustainability. And I feel like that we're all trying to adjust to that, Cancer. If you've been operating on, you've been feeling, pretty smooth here. Now our foundations become a little rocky. Like we're treading on unfamiliar territory here. I feel like that is going to be, going to be the adjustment period that's going to be going down this month, because this is going to be a really busy month energetically, Cancer. Saturn energy is just, getting really starting to get settled in. You've probably already seen some changes in the news. I've been hearing some. I'm not a big news watcher myself, but I'm already starting to hear some things, Cancer. So energetically, we've been knowing this is about to go down for a little bit. There's going to be some changes, but it's not all going to be just like random, Cancer, that it's just going to be a bunch of bad stuff. This is a good time for us to find some beauty in this, to find ourselves, to reestablish our foundation. And into, Cancer, when I'm thinking about this energy, just making sure to take care of yourself. The Nine of Stars is like how we get towards that Empress energy. And when we're going through these transitions, Cancer, just making sure that, and I'm not even just, talking about on a financial standpoint, with the Nine of Stars, this could be, it's financial, it's, it's mind, body, soul, all of that. So just making sure that we're taking care of ourselves in all of this, Cancer. But it's going to be something where it may take us a second to get adjusted, but it's just working on that, Cancer. I feel with this Nine of Stars more. Let's see what else is going down here. If anything, Cancer, I feel like this could possibly be an opportunity for some of us as well, if we've been thinking about possibly starting up our own possible thing for a while here, as far as like our own business, maybe, for example. Nine of Stars is good energy for that as well, See what else we got here, Cancer. Interesting. You got the Ten of Crystals here, Cancer. And listen, Cancer, with whatever has gone down with this full energy, because the Ten of Crystals can be an intense card, but it only stays that way when we stay in that energy too long. Because the Ten of Crystals is like, let's say if this was like, we're just keeping on this job kick. Let's say that we lost a job here. Sometimes when things happen, we get into this place of where we get stuck, where it feels like that we've lost this thing. Life isn't fair. Then the sword starts stacking on. It's just like, why does this happen to me? What did I do to deserve this? Am I gonna be, what am I gonna do about blah blah blah? What am I gonna do about this? It's just like we start adding these swords on. And in Cancer, Ten of Crystals, it can feel like we're at a place of rock bottom. You may be feeling like we're not sure how we're going to take care of ourselves, and that's just, even if we're just single, this could be something even bigger. Maybe we're thinking about how we're going to take care of a family. It could be a number of things that are going down with this, Cancer. But if you notice on this Ten of Crystals here, the sun is still peeking over the horizon, and I know how that sounds, especially when something has gone down that has really kind of shifted flipped our world just topsy-turvy. But Cancer, if we stay at the bottom, if we stay where things are just upside down and we don't take the time to heal and to try to to reorient ourselves in this newness that's going down here, then then this is just going to be us, Cancer, and Cancer, you're in a safe space here, and I would kick it with you until you decide to pull these swords out of yourself. But the Ten of Swords, Cancer, it is stuff that we tell ourselves on top of what's gone down. Again, the situations that have gone down are not meant to keep us in a box or meant to keep us from growing or to achieve this level of stability. If anything, it's trying to help us to establish, better skills to take care of ourselves. It's just like, and I know how that may sound, but in the grand, really, Cancer, in the grand scheme of things, this little moment here, what's going down, and it may not even say, and let me not even make it like a little thing, Cancer, because this could be your world right now. This moment that's going down right now, no matter how big or how small, does not define you, and it's going to pass. But it's just taking those steps in order to get to that place of where it will pass, and it's going to take some time, Cancer, before we even, I won't even say feel, where we're like happy again, to even where we feel like just normalcy, balanced. But it is something that we can get to that place, Cancer, because just like I was talking with that sunshine, each day the sun is rising, and that is a reminder, Cancer, that we get back up, a new cycle. A new cycle is starting up again. This is a good period of time, Cancer, with everything energetically that's going down, to really remember that, life is a series of cycles, and you're going to get through this cycle. Where one thing's ending, another thing is beginning, and really it's all uphill, Cancer. More. Let's see what else we got working here. Cancer, I was thinking with the sun being in Gemini for the Ten of Swords, this is astronomy according to Justin, but this is too, think about it like this. Gemini is a dual sign. Oh, my camera went out, Cancer. And this is perfect because I feel like that the sun in Gemini invites us to see things from the two perspectives. It's not just about focusing on all the badness that's going down, Cancer. It's about focusing on the other side of this too. Okay, where all this stuff that's happening, there are solutions to these problems that are simultaneously coming up here. It's just how do we incorporate them? Because Cancer, even when I'm thinking about the stuff that we tell ourselves and the decisions that we make, it may feel like at first that it's like you're faking it, or that this may seem kind of silly, when I'm talking about when we're feeling in these situations and we talk ourselves down, to try to switch into a mind more, tell ourselves more positive things, because with time, Cancer, it's going to all make sense. It really does all come together in the end. And like I was going to say with my camera kind of going to sleep here, did this with I think it did with my reading for Leo. And sometimes it's like, could we focus on the bad stuff? The fact that now I'm out of a camera for this reading, sure. Or we can focus on the fact that there's some wisdom that, can come from this thing here. It actually worked out quite nicely because Cancer, we just keep it moving, We work with the energies. We work with our thoughts, because thoughts become things. And the more we tell ourselves that we can get through this situation, that there's another way of approaching this Ten of Crystals here, and again, to get that stability back and follow that intuition, Cancer, then absolutely you will get that foundation and I feel like find the fortune in this lesson that was going down here, Cancer. More. Let's see what else. Look at that abundance. Let's see how else we can work with this energy here, Cancer. Absolutely. More. We got Nine of Cups, Cancer, and this is what I mean. When we get into a place where, if we focus on, because here's the thing, like I was saying, with the bad, with whatever the situation's going down. Granted, talking about being in a positive mindset, maybe doing like the positive affirmations possibly, or journaling or anything like that, where it may seem a little foreign at first and it may not feel like it's working, Cancer. It is, because it's staying, once we're Nine of Cups is becoming being a magnet for the energy that we want to attract. And if we're trying to attract happiness and healing, then we do those things for ourselves, Cancer. We focus on, okay, let's pick a crystal. Which crystal is holding us down first, or which one that we feel makes sense that we can tackle first. and then working on that, Cancer. Let's say if we're like, if we're in a place of where we keep telling ourselves like, how could you let this happen, you're a failure, whatever we may be telling ourselves, countering that with, okay, this situation was out of my control. I did not do, I have all the tools that I need to get out of this situation, and it's just telling yourselves that, Cancer. And then too, I find that when we do that, it really does become clearer on what action to take, because it's not like I'm saying like you're just putting the energy out there, just kind of like we're hoping for the best here. No, it's one of those things. It's like when we're operating from a panic place, we can't think. But when we're operating from a more present place, from a more positive place, the answers start coming to us, Cancer. Look at that. Not just you got your resources are in check. Our emotional stuff is all in check, Cancer. You're getting that balance here. This is what I was talking about. This situation is going to help us grow, but it's just remembering that, Cancer, and keep that optimism. Now, let's get to some challenges that we may come with working with this energy. All right, Cancer. So we got the 5 of Stars here, and then we got the Page of Cups. And Cancer, I feel like this 5 of Stars here, these two are really kind of working together here. Because if we're in with this 5 of Stars, some challenges are I feel like that are, you see how this person feels like just like they're all alone. They're in this cave. It feels, this whatever's going down is just weighing on their head, and they feel like that there's nothing that they can, or maybe that no one that they can reach out to. I feel like that this Page of Cups coming in along with that is saying that this is the kind of prisons that we can create for ourselves, Cancer. And what I mean by that, because listen, Cancer, I've done it too, and I've seen how it happens. We get into this place of where, when this, because how do I want to put this, Cancer? I feel like we get to this place of where I'm not sure how it happens, Cancer. We get into this place of where it's like we want to get better, but I feel like we've gotten in such a practice, and I say we, I feel like as like a society, as we've gotten into such a practice into feeding into all of the negative things that are going down, that when we need to find a solution, we create this almost like this prison for ourselves, that we can't get out, or that that there's no one that we can reach out to for help or anything like that, Cancer. But I feel like that this is also to remind us that we can, where we can create these scenarios, Cancer, and I don't even mean like this situation was something like you fantasized. It's like we take this situation, and then we compound on top of that. We keep pushing ourselves further in this hole, as opposed to creating ourselves, an escape route to get out of this. To start building a ladder, we just keep kind of digging a hole here. And so I feel like that this is also a reminder of Cancer, of just being thoughtful of where you're channeling that energy. If we find ourselves, we're getting deeper and deeper and deeper into this pit here, it may be time, Cancer, to or not time, but take it as it resonates. I wouldn't tell you what to do, Cancer, but maybe if we have some friends that we can maybe reach out to, if this is something where we even need to take it a step up and maybe reach out for some professional help, there's nothing wrong with that, Cancer. But just sitting there and suffering in silence, that's going to that doesn't do, that's not going to, do you any good in the long run. It's just going to keep you in this place of just hurting and just like low vibrations. And I also feel like that, with this fool's energy, again, if we've been caught up in a spiral, the fool is asking us to just find a way to throw like a wrench or something into that to break that cycle. That's when I talk about like positive affirmations or meditation or getting out in nature or anything along those lines. If we can just get into a place where we can just shake up the routine of this, because sometimes it's like we'll get up, wallow in this stuff for the day, and then next thing you know, it's the end of the day, and it's just like, now we're in another state of panic because like another day has gone by. What have we done to, get further along on this thing? So just something. Any more here? Okay, but yeah, just something to keep in mind of Cancer. You just be mindful of what we're manifesting and how, in realizing that if you need some help, Cancer, it's okay to ask for help. I feel that we're with our energy. We want to be the one that everyone comes to, and seen as that solid foundation, that we can help heal everyone. It's okay to need some healing too, Cancer, because we feel a lot, in helping others and being in their energies. We're taking that stuff on here too. So just something to be mindful of, Cancer. But let's get some advice from abundant old Jupiter here. Let's see if Jupiter can maybe give us some wisdom here to start getting towards this just higher level, Cancer, or towards just getting us out of this place of where we feel like we're in a state of lack. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. So you got the Five of Cups anymore. So you got the Five of Cups here, Cancer. And then we have the Three of Wands. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and what's good? Go ahead and move this back up here. So with this Five of Cups popping up, I feel like the Five of Cups, this really does feel like, whatever this situation is going down right now, if you see how she's really upset about what's gone down with this experience. Let's say these cups are that surprise that has, maybe shaken us up, that has gotten us possibly feeling not so stable right now. Cancer is one of those things, like this is a good example of where, yes, what has gone down may not have been ideal, and be with that, process that for a second. This is not me saying like, that you can't be with this, Cancer, and that you have to just like hurry up and get over it. It's more so saying that understand what's going down, see what lessons are trying to come out of this, Cancer, because yes, these 3 cups have fallen over, but there are 2 more behind you, a whole river next to you, and you got your house over here. Who knows how many more cups you got in that house? And you know what, Cancer, we can even fill these cups up back at home. But that whole thing to say, Cancer, the Five of Cups is to remind us that yes, maybe one thing has gone down and has not been ideal, there are always more opportunities on the horizon, Cancer. When one door closes, or when even 3 doors closes, 2 more, a river's worth, and even a whole house might open up for you, Cancer. And that's what the Three of Wands is about. This is about opportunities, and realize that there's time for expansion. This could be a good time, Cancer, whatever this situation is. This could be maybe a good time for you if you have some space in between. If we're just, I'm just going on this job kick. If we're in between jobs right now, maybe you got a little bit of saved up, maybe go travel somewhere. And again, it doesn't have to be anything super expensive, but just something I feel like to just get yourself out there, to remind yourself of the endless opportunities. Go on an adventure, Cancer. And I just feel like really, that could be, again, that doesn't have to be, it could be like a road trip, maybe go, if you don't have a car, maybe renting a car, something along those lines, Cancer. Maybe if we got public transportation, maybe thinking about going. There's so many opportunities, Cancer, and I feel so many ways to kind of get out and about, and maybe kind of just maybe being in abundance, and and I mean in abundance, like maybe being surrounded by like the world and nature and stuff might help provide that that stability, you know, provide that reminder that yes, there is a lot of abundance here. It's just like, how do I want to manifest that now? You know, this is a new opportunity for you, Cancer. It's a fool's journey, you know, a new cycle's beginning. So it's like, what do you want to do with it? Manifest, create whatever it is that your heart's desire, Cancer. So I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. And yeah, my bad about, well, not my bad, this camera, I don't, you know, just every now and again it just likes to go to sleep sometimes, and it's just like, whatever, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and shut you off when you think about what you've done. But Cancer, if something's resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share this, Cancer, you know, because I do feel like that there are times when we feel, well, we'll tell ourselves that we're all alone, and I feel like that it comes from a place of where we just don't want to ask for help in fears of looking or thinking that others might feel that we might be less or that we don't have it together or whatever it might be, Cancer. But you know that you'd probably give the shirt off your back to, you know, to your loved ones. So Cancer, allow them to do the same for you. And then, okay, did we share that? Yeah, we shared it. And then subscribe, Cancer, and hit that bell button if you want to get notified when I release videos each day. And then social media, I was just thinking about it. I'm going to post just like maybe something on YouTube sometime this week. Is just a reminder of the group that I've made on Insight Timer, which is a meditation app that I like using, or that I've been working with for a number of years now. And I made a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. It's a place to just like drop positive affirmations. So if you need just like little nuggets of wisdom or little nuggets of positivity, Cancer, or have any like encouraging messages or happen to come across some, it's just a place to just drop some of those off. As the group grows, I want to, you know, start doing, you can schedule different meditations, so maybe that's something, you know, we can all, you know, schedule meditations together. It'd be a good old time, Cancer. So that's something that I'm working on in the mix there. So that's how I'm, you know, Insight Timer, it's a free app. They have a premium version if you want to get it, but you can do plenty with the app. You could definitely join my group regardless. So yeah, check that out, Cancer. And then lastly, you know, when I'm thinking about tools, you know, when I'm talking about checking your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, all that, a good app, you know, good user-friendly app that I've, you know, that I find that if you just want to, just like an intro to Cancer, Nebula. Nebula is a good app, and there's another one if you want like a little more advanced. They have they get into aspects and stuff. And that one, that's a nice kind of like in between, kind of like good for advanced, good for beginners, all stages. I want to say it's Time Passages. I have to double check on that because there's another one. It may not be time. I'll have to look into that, Cancer, but for sure Nebula is a good one. But yeah, check all that stuff, and then come check out my other channel, the Alchemist 8. I do all the other signs there, and I'm gonna start changing some stuff up here starting, I think, next week, you know, going into Aries season. Got some good ideas, Cancer, but you know, I do monthly or do videos weekly there with different monthly themes. So it's a good old time, and all that housekeeping's down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here, Cancer. Nice, nice. You got the Two of Cups here. In Cancer, with, you know, whatever's going down, you know, if this is a sudden change or if this is something where maybe we're on a new change and, you know, maybe we're however this may be resonating for you, Cancer, I do feel like that this is something where you may feel on shaky ground right now. This is a lot of newness maybe that's happening for you. You know, it's, you know, you may be trying to just find your groove right now. But I feel like with this Two of Cups, this is, because this is one of our cards, this is Venus in Cancer. And I find that if this is something that you're starting up, or if this is just something you're going through, Cancer, if it's something you're starting up, nurture that idea, Cancer. Keep that thing going, because I feel like that's gonna, give you some growth that you've been looking for. It's gonna give you that stability, that Nine of Stars and Nine of Cups there. But I also feel like, Cancer, if this is something where we're kind of maybe going through something right now, we're trying to get to this place of trying to harmonize again, I feel like that is something that's coming, but making sure that we are taking care of ourselves and telling ourselves kind and compassionate things. And again, not keeping ourselves in a place where we feel like we're all alone, or that we're not going to get any better, Cancer, because it may feel like that right now, but these feelings they're not forever. I mean, you see how the moon works. You know, there 1 minute, you know, we're feeling on top of the world. Next thing you know, we might be feeling 5 stars. Next thing you know, we're the fool. But it's gonna come, Cancer, and I find that, you know, with each cycle, you know, I find it gets less and less severe, you know, as we work on these things. So, all right, Cancer, I think I'll go ahead and leave that there. So, stay safe out there, and you keep eyes on that moon. And I'll catch you on the next one tomorrow.